Good evening and welcome to Hearns Lane, the newly named Utilita Stadium. We find us for 90 minutes live on this particular Tuesday night. Welcome along, be here with you for full live commentary of Welwyn Garden City against Biggleswade in the Southern League Division 1 Central. Two teams are out on a night where a small amount of fog on both sides of the pitch. It's certainly autumn is making its presence felt. The Goats on for the first time this season, and the two sides out with our referee tonight, who is Matthew Norton. As far as Welwyn Garden City are concerned, two changes from the team that lost here a week ago on penalties against Bishop Stortford in the FA Cup. J. Rolfe and Eusebio de Silva are back in the starting lineup. Patrick Tishkala drops down to the bench, and so our home side will line up with Charlie Crowley in goal, Carl Menzer, Johnny Sexton, Jesse Walklin, Lee Close, J. Rolfe, Eusebio de Silva, Thomas Habuku, Jack Vasey, Dave Keenlyside and George Ironton. Wait and see what the formation is, because no Jack Bradshaw, so no orthodox right back. Although either way, Welwyn Garden City are lining up. Looks like Carl Menzer will be playing on the right-hand side of defence, with J. Rolfe alongside Lee Close in central defence. As far as Biggleswade are concerned, they've had a good start to the season, through to the second qualifying round of the FA Cup away at Gambia Island this coming Saturday. Won 2-0 on opening day against AFC Dunstable. And their starting lineup: Tyler Josephs in goal, Adam Hunt, who of course was here once with Welwyn Garden City, Don Mason, Elliot Kettle, Joe Gage, Lee Oswick, Tom Coles, Connor Inskip, Alan Fleming, George Bailey and Ryan Inskip are the starting lineup for the visitors, all in green this evening. On the bench, Welwyn Garden City have got Elliot Bailey, Robbie Buchanan, Jordan Kinoshi, Charlie Payne and Patrick Tishkala. And for Biggleswade, Harry Roberts, Nathan George, Joe Haidar, James Holmes and Tom Cookman. So that's dotted the I's and crossed the T's on this early bit of league action. Welwyn Garden City in their first league game, of course, lost 2-0 at Wantage. They could go a bit of a time before they have another home game here at Hearns Lane, till this time next week, when they're away at St Neots. But they've then got another home game away at Tame, and then they're at Haywards Heath in the FA Trophy, so well into October before the fans here will see any more action. The referee just waiting for game to get underway here. Both teams waiting patiently, juggling the ball as the crowd begin to take their places. The referee was just checking a goal now away to the left-hand side. But seems happy now. He's going to look at his watch. Welwyn Garden City going to be kicking from left to right in their familiar all-maroon strip. And Biggleswade, one of three teams. Small town, Biggleswade got three teams it supports: Biggleswade United, Biggleswade Town, and these are very much the new kids on the block, having only joined senior football in 2016. Biggleswade, two teams played twice in the abandoned season last year. Welwyn Garden City coming away with 2 wins, 3-1 away at Biggleswade, and a 1-0 victory here with a Jordan Watson goal. Menzer puts the ball forward, looking for Eusebio. Keenlyside's quickly onto it. Thumping challenge coming in on this near side from Don Mason, and the ball cannons out for a goal kick to the visitors. So flat back 4 on the look of it for Nicky Ironton, with Carl Menzer in at right back, J. Rolfe and Lee Close in the centre, and Johnny Sexton at left back. And looks like a 4-4-2 with Eusebio de Silva and Jack Vasey up front, and Dave Keenlyside playing on the right, George Ironton on the left, and Jesse Walklin and Thomas Apuku as the two central midfield players. And here is Apuku wearing number 8, tries to thread the ball out on that far side, but it goes out for a throw-in to the visitors, which Adam Hunt will take. Spent some time here. Welwyn Garden City was fairly successful as well before going back to Biggleswade. Adam Hunt chips the ball forward and Charlie Crowley will collect it on the edge of his penalty area. Charlie Crowley, and I'm not quite sure what colour that is, kind of orange or orange-ish. Got some other games going on tonight, of course, involving our local clubs in the Essex Senior League. And Simon, who's alongside me, will be keeping us in contact with what's going on there, and also be showing you a bit of what's been going on here by the use of the wonders of Twitter. Jesse Walklin thumps the ball against a green hand, and that one did look like a handball. Contentious subject that these days, isn't it? Ryan Inskip was the player concerned. Meanwhile, Alan Fleming gets into where the free kick, and referee wants a little word that Welwyn Garden City have got that free kick. It's just inside their own half as Dave Keenley's side does his boot up, and Carl Menser will take the kick with the right boot from left to right. Low trajectory on that far side. Biggleswade try and get it clear, and in the end they will come it clear with Joe Gage onto the halfway line ahead of Lee Close. Ball down and given away to Vasey. Ball forward by Waltlin's a poor one though, and Hunt will collect it on that far side for the visitors. Nickname FC, or the FC is their nickname. It breaks on that far side to Johnny Sexton. His ball is intercepted by Gage. A little bit of pinball going on. Falls to Dave Keenley's side. Keenley's side's got Menser on this near side. Menser puts the ball back for Keenley's side. Fleming was quickly onto it though. Manages to win it back for Biggleswade, and Menser continues his run though. Puts in a good challenge, and Vasey will get it back for Welwyn Garden City, but he can't keep it in. And they'll have a throw in on this near side, which Don Mason, the number 3, will take. Mason collects the ball back and then hoofs it upfield. J. Rolfe lets it roll and puts it back to Crowley, and Crowley's kick will land round about the halfway line. Up goes Vasey, comes off his head, but Biggleswade will get it back in possession. Once again, it just squirrels away from them, and Keenley's side on that far side will find George Ironton. Ironton's got Johnny Sexton making the overlap. Ironton decides to go himself. Still George Ironton down that left-hand side. Ironton turns inside. Jesse Walklin has to go backwards. Find Carl Menser midway inside the Biggleswade half. Menser, let's put it down the line. First one is blocked by Inskip. Puts it back under the halfway line for J. Rolfe. J. Rolfe, long ball on that far side, looking for Sexton, who come up. Manages to get it. Eusebio's there, tries the overhead kick. Players go down in a bundle, and in the end, referee gives a free kick. Well, Eusebio tried the spectacular, but in the end, it all came to nothing. 7th meeting, this between the two teams. Haven't had a draw yet. 3 wins apiece. Takeley have taken the lead against Sawbridgeworth Town in the Essex Senior League. Bit of a local derby going on there at Takeley. We, of course, had Kieran Amos on the show last night on 90 Minutes on East Hearts Radio. If you want to catch that one, look at Twitter. Available still to download and listen to. Really interesting story. The player that lost 7 stone during lockdown score a winner in the FA Cup. As the ball threaded forward, looking for Fleming, but Charlie Crowley will come out and collect it on the edge of his area, left-hand side of the field. Crowley takes his time about clearance, puts it one little touch forward, then thumps it up into the Biggleswade half, who will lie on this side with Ryan Inskip. Inskip puts it all the way back to the goalkeeper, Tyler Josephs. And Josephs, right-footed on this near side, will pick out Elliot Kettle. Kettle's long ball forward, looking for Fleming. Crowley's come a long way and does well in the end. So thumping out on this near side for a throw-in that Don Mason will take. Mason gets help from Kettle again. Kettle finds Mason. This near side, the diminutive number 3 running forward, and linesman's flag goes up on that far side against George Bailey. He'd got himself clear, but clearly in an offside position. I was saying Biggleswade have had a good start to the season. second qualifying round of the FA Cup after wins against Histon 1-0 and Ely City 2-1. Mensa heads the ball to Dave Keenley's side. Keenley's side's long ball forward as Vasey chasing it. Vasey's making it difficult. Vasey does well. Jack Vasey back for Jesse Walklin. Walklin, though, not got too much option. Plays it to his left for Johnny Sexton. Sexton back for Walklin. Walklin starts to come forward, goes around one man, finds Sexton again, midway inside the Biggleswade half. Sexton, high, cross into the box, up goes Vasey. Ball lands with the volley, and just wide of the target from George Ironton. First chance of the evening. His body shape looked good, but 6 minutes on the watch. And Welwyn Garden City threaten first. The two big men up front is something that last week against Bishop Stortford it was Vasey on his own, but Nicky Ironton's gone for Eusebio and Jack Vasey this evening, and it was Vasey who caused the problem there for the Biggleswade defence. Tom Coles will thump it forward down that left-hand side. Ironton gets a head in the way, and it will be a throw-in for the visitors. All collected from Connor Inskip. Challenge comes in though. Welwyn Garden City get it back. Ironton's ball forward though. It's a loose one. And Mason will have it for Biggleswade midway inside his own half. Finds Kettle. Kettle to his right hand side, but that's straight to Eusebio de Silva. Eusebio still going. Eusebio's in the area. Here, Eusebio de Silva. Good save by the goalkeeper. Josephs diving to his right hand side. But Biggleswade will know all about Eusebio. He scored twice when Welwyn Garden City won at Langford Road early on last season. Here's Mensa. Walklin, neat as always in possession. Forward by Joe Rolfe. Vasey can't control the ball, and Kettle will find George Bailey. Bailey's ball on that far side. That's Hunt on the overlap. Hunt with Johnny Sexton in front of him. Hunt turns inside onto the right foot. Here's Coles. Oh, and just wide of the target. Well, chance at either end. That's the best one perhaps. Tom Coles going through. He's been sure in front of goal. He's been at Biggleswade since they started in senior football as Tom Coles. And he was preciously close there to adding to his tally of 33 goals in a couple of seasons for the FC. Welwyn Garden City escape. Still 0-0 here. Just joined us. Welcome along. Peter Hill with you. 90 minutes live at the newly named Utilita Stadium here at Hearns Lane in Welwyn Garden City. Southern League Division 1 Central action on 90 minutes live. Got a bang on the back of the head there for the number 10 George Bailey. I don't think the physio is going to be required. Bailey's just feeling his ear as he gets up, but referees can be none too careful in these particular instances. Going to restart with the drop ball. Not quite sure who's going to take advantage of the drop ball, but referee's holding it there. It's I think it's Fleming who's just going to bang it back to Charlie Crowley, or in fact it's going to be Joe Rolfe who's going to thump it into the Biggleswade half. So, momentary lapse in play. In fact, Rolfe does take it and takes possession back. So, Rolfe will put it all the way back to Charlie Crowley in the Welwyn Garden City goal. Crowley's kick onto the halfway line. Good header forward by Thomas Apuku, who finds Eusebio de Silva. Eusebio's ball isn't a good one though, and allows Inskip to nip it off the toes of Carl Mensa. Here's Kettle looking for Inskip, but in the end all comes to nothing. Coles was involved as well, and it goes all the way through once more to Charlie Crowley. Crowley right-footed downfield. Up goes the head of Dave Keenley's side this time. It lands on the halfway line for Jesse Walklin. Apuku's being pulled down by Elliot Kettle and wins free kick for Welwyn Garden City. Keenley side and George Ironton on the ball. Lee Close, Carl Menser, both gone up from the back. And Jack Vasey and Eusebio da Silva, and you've got considerable aerial presence. Biggleswade, not the biggest team. A good kick, finds Walklin right hand side of the box, fires it in, and in the end it goes over everybody and out. Not quite sure what Jesse Walklin was intending there, whether that was a shot or a cross. In the end it turned into a mixture of both, and wasn't a problem for anybody. So Josephs will restart. Goalkeeper in the... it's kind of mustard, really, isn't it? It's not particularly yellow. Well, I suppose mustard is a type of yellow. Don Mason puts it forward, looking for the run of Fleming. Crowley, once again, he's way out of his area. Favourite to get there, and does. Lobs it towards the halfway line, where Apuku does well away from Mason. Keenly side thumps it forward. Vasey was caught rather on his heels, and it's allowed to run back by Lee Oswick to the goalkeeper Josephs. Long ball on that far side, cut out by Johnny Sexton. Is George Ironton going down the left wing. Ironton picking up a bit of pace. Ironton finds Thomas Apuku. Thought about the shot. Thomas Apuku puts the ball across. Oh, header was looking to come in from Ironton. Couldn't find him. And in the end, the ball comes out. Apuku knows he would have been offside, so doesn't attempt to touch the ball. And Biggleswade get it clear. Carl Menser, though, will pick it up. Onto the halfway line for Jesse Walklin. It's been a decent game, this. Both these teams were very close to each other at the end of last season. Welwyn Garden City were fourth, winning all game to nothing. Biggleswade were sixth, in a bit of form and with a couple of games in hand. So they were pretty closely matched throughout our whole of last season. And pretty closely matched when they met in the South Midlands League, of course. So the Welwyn Garden City will like to remember that season. That's the season they went up as champions. Although Biggleswade did knock them out of the FA Vase and the Challenge Trophy in that particular year. As Fleming brings the ball down. Alan Fleming, good tackle coming in. Superb tackle by Jesse Walklin. He finds Vasey on the halfway line. Vasey's ball, though, is a poor one. And Ryan Inskip will try and put the ball through to George Bailey. But Charlie Crowley is there to sort it out. Crowley, right-footed downfield. Ball lands so well. Nobody really takes control of it until it's the number 6, Lee Oswick, puts it back to his goalkeeper. Bowls the ball out on this near side for Oswick again. There's Elliot Kettle. It's on the outside of his own penalty area. A big keep ball in the 18-yard box by the visitors. Josephs is looking for some way out because I don't think he's going to be able to play a short ball from there, and he does find it in the end, but only as far as Johnny Sexton. Sexton's ball forward. All could have Vasey in here. Here's Jack Vasey right hand side of the box. First touch was none too sure, and in the end he allowed Oswick to get back on level terms with him and can only win a corner for his team. Could have been a better chance, that, for Jack Vasey, had his first touch been better. But George Ironton's got the chance to send a corner in from that far side of the field. Welwyn Garden City have got two back. Only one forward for Biggleswade. Low corner put into the near post and sorted out by Coles. It gives Jordan Ironton another opportunity to take a corner on that far side. Lee Close jogs his way to the edge of the 6-yard box. This time it's going to be a high one into the area. Oh, Close can't get it. Well, he did head it, but actually headed it back towards George Ironton or in that direction. It went out harmlessly enough for a goal kick. So quarter hour mark here, and nothing between the two teams. Best opportunity probably fall to Biggleswade, really. That one for Tom Goals that he put wide of the target. As Josephs will take the goal kick from the goal away to our right hand side. Goalkeeper taking his time again. Goalkeeper still taking his time. He's going to take it now. Kick lands just inside the Welwyn Garden City half. Good header from Jesse Walklin. But Biggleswade back in possession on that far side of the field. Long ball forward though. And Charlie Crowley will collect it very comfortably out of his area. Crowley bowls it across to this near side. It's one of these keepers who does like to come out of his area, is Charlie. And he's waiting for some movement up front before he kicks the ball forward. Lobs it forward, looking for Apuku. Apuku, though, is pushed in the back by Elliot Kettle. And Welwyn Garden City have got a freaking interesting position here. They're midway inside the Biggleswade half, right-hand side of the field. Two dead ball architects there in George Ironton and Dave Keenley's side, but it's going to be Keenley's side, wearing his more familiar number 10 tonight, who will take it. All queuing up on the edge of the box. Keenley's side, it's a low one, doesn't beat the first man though. He'll get it back. Keenley's side tries the shot. Oh, goalkeeper does well. Oh, it's put over the top. Eusebio de Silva. An excellent opportunity to put Welwyn Garden City in front, and he skied it over the top. Only the goalkeeper to beat. Best chance by far for either side. Falling in the 17th minute of the game. Long ball forward on this near side. Tom Mason can't keep it in. It's going to be a Welwyn Garden City throw. Carl Mensah, the big number 2. 6'5" of him will take it. Mensah down the line. Apuku and Eusebio are getting each other's way. And Biggleswade will thump the ball clear with Coles, but it wasn't a good ball, only as far as Johnny Sexton, who finds George Ironton down the left-hand side. George puts the brakes on a little and then fitted it into the box, but nobody was on the end of it. And the goalkeeper will collect it quite comfortably. Don't think that's someone fallen dead in the stand, just a little bit of noise in front of us. As Apuku battling with Mason on this near side. Apuku does well. As the ball finally thumped forward on the halfway line. J. Rolfe will find Jesse Waltlin. Waltlin does well to get it away from Ryan Inskip, but runs out of play on this near side, and we'll go for a throw-in to Welwyn Garden City. Don Mason on this near side now. Mason trying to set Fleming through. Mensah's in the way. Curling ball, headed down, and could have been a problem from Joe Gage, but in the end, it's Oswick who gets him out of trouble. Under challenge from Eusebio de Silva. Joe Gage was none too certain then when that one came into the area, but it was Lee Oswick who got him out of trouble. It's going to be a 1-0 Chelsea. For those that are interested in those things, Chelsea have just gone 1-0 up against Spurs, I understand, in the Carabao Cup, of course, that one. But we've got real football here on 90 Minutes Live, of course, non-league. Southern League Division 1 Central, Welwyn Garden City against Biggleswade, as Johnny Sexton puts the ball all the way back to Charlie Crowley in the Welwyn Garden City goal. Not too much in Nicky Ironton so far tonight. Maybe he's saving his voice, or maybe he's happy. You don't know. It could be one or other, couldn't it? But far side of the field, it's going to be Adam Hunt who will take the throw-in for the visitors. Evenly matched contest, one good chance at either end. Top goals for Biggleswade and Eusebio de Silva for Welwyn Garden City. Here is Eusebio. Chests it down for the on-running Keenley side. Keenley side tries a shot again. Joseph dives away to his right-hand side. Didn't get a touch though. And the ball goes wide of the target. But don't need to show Dave Keenley's side much to pull the trigger. Certainly likes to go. Former Hertford Town man. So Joseph's will restart from the goal away to the right-hand side. Frantic activity on the 3G behind him. As Lee Close goes up, wins the ball well. Apuku goes up as well with George Bailey, and in the end it's headed forward on that far side for Johnny Sexton to collect it. Facey does well again to win the ball for Welwyn Garden City. George Ironton, though, has to scamper to keep the ball in. Tries to send Eusebio de Silva going down that far side. It's making life difficult for Joe Gage, but Hunt does well and thumps it towards Fleming on the halfway line. Perhaps a chance here for Biggleswade to come forward, but it's sorted out by Welwyn Garden City, but only given away to Elliot Kettle. Kettle's got Ryan Mason coming down this near side, but Mensah blocks the ball and puts it all the way back to Crowley. Crowley's long kick forward. Up goes Vasey again. He's had some success in the air as the former Bedford Town man. It's a loose bit of control in midfield, this time by Connor Skip. Gives Welwyn Garden City the ball back. Johnny Sexton for Jesse Walkland. Carl Mensah calling for the ball on this near side. That's where it goes. Mensah forward for Dave Keenlyside, who picked up a good position. Keenlyside puts a cross. It's Eusebio over the goalkeeper and wide of the target. So another opportunity. Perhaps Eusebio could have shown a little more conviction in that. He felt he was just, instead of putting any power, or just willing to see it cannon off his head, and in the end it cannoned wide of the mark. Far side, George Ironton going up. It's rather like the game this time last week when it was Bishop Stortford who had the territorial advantage. Welwyn Garden City have got it tonight. They've had the most of the ball, but still 0-0. It's going to be the goalkeeper Tyler Josephs who is going to take the kick on that far side. Former Potton United goalkeeper. Right-footed downfield, up goes Lee Close, wins the ball, and Apuku will complete the clearance for Welwyn Garden City. Vasey had come towards the halfway line, and Apuku's kick is going to land near the corner flag on this near side. Goalkeeper will come out and collect it. And everything down to walking pace again. It's Coles who picks the ball up on the edge of his own penalty area. Mason yelling for it on this near side, the left back. Mason puts it all the way back to the number 6, Oswick. And long ball forward onto the head of Jay Rolfe. Put down by Kettle is Mason. Flicks it forward for Fleming, whose control isn't good, but he managed to wrestle it away from Jay Rolfe. Fleming still going. The ball put on that far side for Coles. Fires in the shot. Good save by Charlie Crowley with his feet. So once again, Tom Coles causing problems for Welwyn Garden City. This time the goalkeeper equal to it, though. Ball out on that far side for a throw-in to the Citizens. Johnny Sexton will take it in front of the Biggleswade bench. Sexton drives the ball on his shirt and then down the line just gives it away very tamely. It's Ryan Inskip. The ball will break on this near side. Rolfe there with Fleming, who's certainly a physical presence, is Alan Fleming. But Rolfe manages to put the ball back to Charlie Crowley. Crowley's kick is a poor one, and Mason's attempted clearance is even worse as he's given it straight to Jack Vasey. And Vasey's ball is a poor one, and Oswick in the way, and a very untidy passage of play ends with Don Mason coming forward. Mason's ball, though, is a poor one, and Charlie Crowley will collect it and put it back inside his penalty area. So 24 minutes gone here at Hearns Lane, 90 minutes live with me, Beat Hill, in association with East Hearts Radio, following our local teams, as we always are with East Hearts and thereabouts football. And there's Jack Vasey for Welwyn Garden City. Vasey, though, can't get the ball across. It'll break to Fleming. Fleming's ball on the far side is a terrible one, straight to Johnny Sexton. Sexton down the line looking for George Ironton. Ironton in the fog on that far side. Ironton there with Hunt at his back, two former teammates, as the ball's pushed forward, but in the end it's Biggleswade will get it clear and clear it all the way back to Charlie Crowley. So 90 minutes live comes from Welwyn Garden City this evening. Saturday will be coming from Westfield, where Hertford will make the trek to the league leaders in pitching in Isthmian League Division 1 South Central. So that should be an interesting game as Thomas Apuku brings in George Ironton. Ironton puts it in, and oh, what a goal! George Ironton has curled one in from 30 yards out. Thomas Apuku gave him the ball. He looked up and curled it straight over the top of Joseph's, and that one's going to be well worth watching again on Twitter. 25 minutes gone, and George Ironton, as he did this time last week, has given Welwyn Garden City the lead. 1-0 to the Citizens. Wow, quite a special strike from George Ironton. His second goal of the season, and in doing that becomes Welwyn Garden City's top scorer. So let's see what Biggleswade have to offer. Elliot Kettle back for Joe Gage. Gage finds Kettle again. Gage just chips it up towards the halfway line. Meets ahead of Carl Menser. Gainley sides up there. Can't get hold of the ball, and Coles will clear. And meanwhile, there was a clash of heads just outside the Biggleswade box. And I think could well be Lee Oswick who's gone down. He's going to need a little bit of attention from the physio on that far side. In fact, no, Oswick's going to get up without attention required from the physio. So it's been a decent contest, which has been illuminated by an absolutely cracking goal so far from George Ironton as Vasey barges into the back of Lee Oswick. Oswick's ball forward, looking for the on-running Alan Fleming, but it won't stay in play. And will be a throw-in to Welwyn Garden City. 1-0 here, as far as we know, in the two Essex Senior League games taking place tonight. The only other goal, Takeley 1, Salisbury Town 0. As Carl Menser, St Margaret's still 0-0 in their match this evening. And Hoddesdon, of course, play tomorrow night when they go to Ilford. There's Thomas Apuku looking down the line for Jack Vasey. Oswick threads the ball back inside his area for his goalkeeper, Josephs. So the ball will land with Jay Rolfe. Hooks it away from Fleming. Apuku and Kettle go in, and Ryan Inskip finds the ball on this near side. Connor Inskip puts the ball back to Lee Oswick, and Biggleswade, who've not really threaded too much together. Just those two opportunities for Tom Coles, who is the man on the ball here now. Coles putting the ball through on that far side. Hunt's on the overlap. They might have an opportunity now, though. Tries to pull the ball across, but firstly blocked by Johnny Sexton and then thumped clear by Lee Close. A throw in to Welwyn Garden, to Biggleswade. Will be taken on that far side. But a meteoric rise from them. They were an under-18 side at one stage before they decided to make the move up in the men's football. 2 championships in the South Midlands League. Tottenham as far as they are at the moment in the South Midlands League, as Fleming goes down under pressure. But the referee not particularly interested. Takeley putting a dominant performance, 4-1. Wow, there we go. So interesting game going on there. 4-1 to Takeley in the Essex Senior League, as Eusebio de Silva looks to add to Welwyn Garden City's 1-goal tunnel here. But Puku is in the end beaten to it by Ryan Inskip. Inskip's put down a little ankle tap from Dave Keenley's side, who almost looked to take the free kick there. Cole's ball through. Charlie Crowley comes out ahead of Fleming and thumps it towards the bench on that far side for Biggleswade. Throw taken quickly to Connor Inskip. Inskip will pick it up again. Looks on this near side for Don Mason. Mason's space closed down by Carl Menser, and the number 11 here, Ryan Inskip, is a mile offside, and linesman's flag goes up on that far side to demonstrate the fact, and Welwyn Garden City will have themselves a free kick. Just approaching the hour mark here then on Tuesday night's 90 minutes live here at Hearns Lane, the newly named Utilita Stadium. And Welwyn Garden City, 1 goal to the good, and I think just about good value for it as well. Goal coming after 25 minutes, a really spectacular one from George Ironton. We know what he's capable of, and he showed absolutely that by lobbing the ball from some 25 yards out over the top of Tyler Josephs. Charlie Crowley's going to restart the game for Welwyn Garden City with a free kick to the edge of the area. Keenley sides went up, but it was Coles who beat him to the ball. Tom Coles looked to hurdle over Jesse Walklin, whose challenge was a little bit late. Referee wants a little bit of a word with Walklin. Don't think it's going to be anything more than that. Hasn't been that type of game at all. Hasn't really been that much in terms of full-blooded challenges, but Jesse Walklin's getting a bit of a lecture from our referee Matthew Norton. But free kick to Biggleswade is going to be the result. Going to be taken by Joe Gage, the number 5. Gage's ball looking for Ryan Inskip. Mensah heads it down, but Don Mason will stop it going out on this near side. Midway inside the Welwyn Garden City half, Joe Rolfe has given it away to Elliot Kettle. Kettle's got Mensah in front of him. Kettle turns it back for Mason. Mason, a high ball. Charlie Crowley's going to come out. Good punch by the goalkeeper. And Johnny Sexton will complete the clear. In fact, George Ironton will complete the clearance. Looking for Eusebio. But Keenly side chests it down on the halfway line and brings in Thomas Apuku. Puku's got Keenly side going outside him, and that's who he finds. Dave Keenly side on the overlap. Keenly side turns inside Mason. He turns outside Mason. Turns inside outside. And in the end gets the ball to George Ironton on the edge of the area. Good ball by Ironton for Apuku back across the box. And it's Oswick who manages to clear it from the edge of his own 6-yard box. Still Welwyn Garden City in possession. Mensah's long ball on the far side, though Eusebio can't reel it in. And Adam Hunt should get it clear. For Biggleswade brings in Tom Coles. Coles, though, closed down very quickly by Jesse Walklin. And Welwyn Garden City have got it back with George Ironton. Only momentarily, though, as Connor Inskip gets in there. And this time Joe Gage will complete the clearance for Biggleswade onto the halfway line, where it only finds Lee Close. Eusebio slips over and Connor Inskip brings it down. And via Hunt, it's found George Bailey on that far side. Bailey looking for team man in advanced position. Coles will now pick out Ryan Inskip on this near side, but his first touch isn't good enough to beat Mensah, who just thumps it out above us in the low stand here. And away for a throw in. So it's going to be Don Mason, the left fullback, who will take the throw in when he gets the ball back from the crowd. Former Cambridge United youth player, played his non-league football at St Neots, where Welwyn Garden City will be in action this time next week. He's got a hatful there last year, or here rather, against St Neots last year. But, always different, isn't it, with a new season, players changing positions and clubs, as Jesse Walklin loses out and brings George Bailey down from behind. I think Walklin might be lucky to escape a yellow here, having had a bit of a lecture from the referee earlier, but the referee doesn't seem intent on producing a card. So Biggleswade going to have themselves a free kick. Free kick. Well, it's Coles who is spotting it down. In fact, it's Ryan Inskip now, the number 11. Welwyn Garden City have got a 1-2-3 man wall in the way. Dave Keenly's side comes across to join them to make it 4. Charlie Crowley just getting his angles right. George Ironton, Thomas Apuku, Jesse Walklin and Dave Keenly's side in the wall for Welwyn Garden City. Ryan Inskip waits patiently. Number 11, it is going to be Inskip all the way along the ground and well wide of the target, almost hitting the brand new Utilita sign behind the goal there, as Crowley will take the goal kick for the Citizens. So disappointed on opening day, of course, when they went down 2-0. A Wantage didn't really perform at all. Much better performance this time last week against Bishop Stortford, despite going out of the FA Cup on penalties. And they've really taken on from where they left off last week here. There, despite a couple of opportunities for Tom goals, I think they're worthy of their 1-goal advantage given to them by George Ironton, as Walklin is forced to put the ball out of play. Mason will bring in Connor Inskip. Mason has to put it all the way back to Lee Oswick. Oswick finds Connor Inskip, who just skips past Dave Keenly's side, but his ball forward is a poor one. Big shout from Charlie Crowley, who thumps it out. That's a decent ball. Brings in George Ironton on that far side. Ironton's given it away though, but Welwyn Garden City will get it back with Lee Close. Close's long ball forward, looking for Vaty, who is always a danger in the air. This time he was making a nuisance of himself against Adam Hunt. Couldn't win the ball, but it does ricochet out for a throw-in to Biggleswade. Adam Hunt looking for George Bailey, who brings it down nicely. Bailey was, lost his footing first of all under challenge from George Ironton. Couldn't stay on his feet and wins his side a free kick. Tom Coles will take the free kick. Joe Gage, the big number 5, is going up from the back. In fact, Coles is going to leave it, and it's either going to be Don Mason or Elliot Kettle who will take the kick. Oswick and Gage have both come up, the two big central defenders. And it is going to be Kettler who's going to take it all the way along the ground, brings in Alan Fleming. Fleming again, Kettle's ball this time into the area. Carl Menzer puts a big boot, goes up. Crowley's got to get it, but in the end he punches the ball down off the head of Joe Gage, but it was Crowley who got the last touch. And so Biggleswade will get themselves a corner, which Ryan Inskip, the number 11, will take. Welwyn Garden City are... Well, they're pulling everybody bar George Ironton back. Eusebio de Silva now going back to doing some defending. Ryan Inskip then with the corner for Biggleswade all the way along the ground. Looks for George Bailey, but Bailey couldn't tee up the shot. Finds Inskip again. Bailey will surely put it in the box. This time he does. Good header by Carl Menzer. Johnny Sexton's beaten to it. Lee Close gets it clear, but Biggleswade will get it back on that far side. Put in by Ryan Inskip. Once again, Menzer wins it in the air, and linesman's flag on the far side. Means there won't be any further trouble for Charlie Crowley. Certainly, when you've got big Carl Menzer in there, you've got to look at it from an opposing manager point of view and think, is it worth us putting a ball in the box, really? So, you can count the headers that he misses on the fingers of one hand through a season, let alone during a game. Crowley's going to restart from the goal away to our left-hand side. 37 minutes of the first half gone here. Welwyn Garden City lead by a goal to nil. As Ryan Inskip is sent running down this side, but those big long legs of Carl Menzer sort that one out. And the ball goes out on this near side. Inskip's a little bit slow to get up, as Don Mason will take the throw in for Biggleswade. Brings in Connor Inskip. In fact, it's George Bailey, the number 10. Bailey going down the line, but once again he finds Menzer as an immovable object. And Carl Menzer just hooks it out of play for a throw-in to the visitors. Don Mason will find Alan Fleming, who's there with Joe Rolfe. Rolfe shows good amount of strength. And in the end, it's a free kick to Welwyn Garden City. In fact, it was Jesse Waltlin there, not Joe Rolfe. And Waltlin stayed down after the challenge, but he's going to be okay. And Charlie Crowley will come out and take the kick for Nicky Ironton's team. Standing on that far side, arms crossed, surveying things as he always does. I think he'll be pretty happy with what he's seen so far. His team lead here 1-0. And George Ironton, of course, keeping it in the family with the goal. Kick forward by Charlie Crowley. Up goes Thomas Apuku. Can't win it, but Jesse Waltlin will pick up seconds. Put it forward. Looking for Eusebio de Silva. Josephs was alert to it, though. And collects the ball and bowls it out to Connor Inskip. Inskip, the number 8. Threads it to the halfway line. Looking for Bailey. And, challenge coming in from Johnny Sexton. Bailey goes down in a heap. That was untidy, to put it polite. And the referee will want a word with Johnny Sexton. The Biggleswade bench are absolutely incensed. And referee Mr. Norton's got a decision to make here. There's no doubt Johnny Sexton's going to get a card. And suddenly there's a little bit of handbags going on. That Alan Fleming being pushed away. And George Bailey's still down. Let's see what the referee's going to do here. He's going to wait and see. As far as the player's concerned, he's calling Johnny Sexton to him now. Experienced player is Johnny Sexton. The referee's got his book out. What colour card is coming out is the question mark. He's noting the name in the book, would seem to suggest it's going to be yellow, but you never know with some referees, and it is going to be yellow. So Johnny Sexton gets himself in the book for that challenge on George Bailey, who's now sitting up on that far side of the field, having had some treatment from the Biggleswade physio Amy Radford, who's come on and done the job. It's going to be a free kick to the visitors. Ladies score St Margaret's 3-1, Woodford Town 0. Guess who? Kyle Roberts from the penalty spot. Scored a penalty on Saturday, of course, with that amazing comeback against Clapton. Scored another goal in that game as well, so expect him to be up there for the 90 minutes golden boot. So they're doing well, but not so good for Sawbridgeworth against Takeley. They're 5-1 down now, and still in the first half there. Oh, for a fly on the wall of the dressing room at half-time there, as the ball is picked up by Elliot Kettle. Kettle's ball forward meets the head of Joe Gage, who made his way up from the back, but Charlie Crowley will collect it. Long kick forward, Eusebio goes up, and the ball will break to Jack Vasey, left-hand side. Vasey turns backwards, brings in Keighley-side. Keighley-side's robbed by Coles, though, and Connor Inskip will bring Biggleswade forward. Looks for George Bailey. Good tackle by Walklin. And all happening inside the centre circle there. Flurry of legs. Fleming's offside, and Crowley will come out and make the save anyway. A little bit of frantic activity inside the centre circle. 4 minutes to go before the break here. Jesse Walklin just struggling a little bit, limping away. Had that ankle injury last season, kept him out for quite a time. Such an important player, picking up the scraps in that Welwyn Garden City midfield. Charlie Payne is on the bench tonight. He's very much a like-for-like Tigerish midfield player, as was his father, of course, back in his Barnet days. As Carl Mensah will take the free kick for Welwyn Garden City, driven low onto the chest of Keighley-side, who fires the shot in. Well, it was on target, but the goalkeeper squarely behind it, his near post. Bowls it out for Lee Oswick. Oswick for Mason on this near side. Just get the feeling that Welwyn Garden City need a second goal, and they might be able to relax a little. Always a precarious advantage, 1-0. Ball flicks out of play on this near side. Biggleswade will have a throw-in, which Don Mason, the number 3, will take from the spot being pointed out by our referee Matthew Norton. So Mason's got Connor Inskip showing first. Mason gets the ball back and then puts it a little bit into no man's land, but Joe Gage will get there first. Gage crosses the halfway line, big lanky number 5, a little bit further down the touchline. As coming forward on that far side is Adam Hunt. He's robbed of the ball though, and Welwyn Garden City will win themselves a throw in on that far side via George Ironton. So Citizens have a throw in, dying minutes of the first half here at Hearns Lane. They lead by a goal to nil on 90 minutes live, and I'll tell you what, good job I put the coat on tonight. You suddenly start to feel that October is just around the corner. Temperatures come down, there's just a little bit of low mist on that far side. So the ball breaks, but a good challenge coming in by Walklin again. Looks for Vasey, headed up in the air rather by Oswick, and Biggleswade got themselves in trouble there, and Thomas Apuku will bring in Dave Keighley-side. Keighley-side turns well, looking for someone to give it to, avoids the challenge of Fleming, and in the end has to go backwards to Lee Close on the halfway line. Close finds Joe Rolfe. Rolfe chips it down the right side for Carl Mensah. Carl Mensah, Apuku saying hold it, but Mensah's going to put it across the box, challenged by Vasey, almost taking Oswick out on the edge of the area. I don't think there was too much doubt about that being a free kick. And so it all comes to nothing. And Biggleswade will restart. Last minute of the half then, as Keighley-side tussling away with Coles. Coles manages to win it. Bailey can't get round George Ironton, but in the end Coles is running down that right hand side. Lee Close is the defender, and Close does well, brings in George Ironton. Perhaps an opportunity here forward, looking for Vasey, but Joe Gage is in the way and heads it down to Don Mason. Mason looking for someone to pass it to, finds Alan Fleming. First touch, not too sure, but he gets away with it. Ryan Inskip on this near side brings in Elliot Kettle. Kettle forward, but linesman's flag didn't go up, and George Bailey's away down this left-hand side, pulls it across the box, and Lee Close does well to get there first and put it out for a late corner in this dying seconds of the opening period here. So Biggleswade's second corner to be taken by Ryan Inskip, as Welwyn Garden City have pulled everybody back this time. In fact, apart from George Ironton, who's over there, almost missed him standing on the halfway line. So Inskip's corner. Inside a high one, looking for the back post. Good punch again by Charlie Crowley and cleared by Gainley side. Looking for George Ironton, but it's Mason who skies it back towards the Welwyn Garden City penalty area. Up in the air rather by Mensah, wasn't the best of headers. Back in by Ryan Inskim. Mensah gets her again, and once again it's up in the air rather than clear. Here's Alan Fleming. Fleming tries the shot and Crowley saves it fairly comfortably in the end. But I think we can hear the thoughts of Nicky Ironton on that one, trying to get the ball clear. It was the last action of the first half and it could have led to an equaliser. It didn't though, because the only goal that counts came after 25 minutes. George Ironton curling it into the top right hand corner from 25 yards out. Made a half-time score here. Welwyn Garden City 1, Biggleswade 0. Go grab yourself a cuppa or something, and in 15 minutes time I'll be back with full uninterrupted second half commentary here on 90 Minutes Live of Welwyn Garden City against Biggleswade.